You know that very jigar ke tukro. Okay, so in that way I am just calling my students. So that now we are discussing about that program in Python to check whether a year is leap year or not. So in general, we know the concept that if year is divided by 4 exactly, then year is divided by 4 and leaves the remainder 0, we will say it is a leap year. But one more twist is there. If it is a century year, means similar. If it is a century year means if the year it is 1900, if it is 2000, if 2100, so what we will say that is century year. What it is said by the mathematicians, that if it is a century year, then it must be divided by 400 also, not only by 4. So for that example, 1900 being a century year, being divided by 4, then also it was not a leap year because it was not divided by 400. And again, year 2000 divided by 4, being the century year divided by 400 also, then it treated as a leap year. So for that we have written the program. Now we discuss about the conditions. In which way the conditions are written. So first you are getting the year from the user, converting them to the integer. So how to write the condition? It is the interview question, not writing the 3-4 times if else. Write in one expression, one condition, whether you will have to declare the year is leap year or not. So year percentage 4 double equal to 0 and you know that logical operator and both the conditions must be satisfied. And here you are telling year percentage 100 not equal to 0. So first we are not considering the century year. First check that both the conditions are satisfied. What? If it is divided by 4 and if it is not a century year, then or the another logical operator. And then year percentage 400 equal to 0. Here the questions are that this and or logical operators are not surrounded within the parenthesis. So is there any problem of precedence of operation? No sir. In logical operator, and will be processed first, then or will be processed. All logical operators not and or, the precedence of operation, first not, then and, then or. So there is no confusion here. It is checking that it is divided by 4 and it is not a leap year, sorry, not a century year. That is, and both the conditions are satisfied, or the year is divided by 400. This leaves the remainder 0. Then you are printing yes it is a leap year or printing. Now we will have to see the Python student here that 2 formats are given here for the printing. It resembles the style of C programming also, in which way we will writing the C programming %d for integer of decimal number system. %d is not a leap year, but here comma you will not have to give, then percent is to be given. Again you may ask, sir, if there are 2-3 variables, then only single percent is only. And all those variables will be separated by comma under the parenthesis. By 1%, comma will not be there and parenthesis will be there and all the variables will be separated by comma. So here year percentage 4 double equal to the another version of program is written and here the output is already given. So 2000, yes it is a leap year, and if you have entered the 1900, no it was not a leap year because it is not divided by 400. In the year 2016 leap year, 2015 not a leap year. Understood? Should we move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Anyone is telling your name? Vidya. Jayashree. Vidyashree. Which of the year is the leap year? Example of the formula. If year is divided by 4, one more condition. Afrin, one more condition. If it is a century year, it should be divided by, again conclude Pavitra, conclude that. What are the conditions to be a leap year?
The year should be divided by 4 and if it's century should be divided by 4 as well as 400.
Yes, which is divided by 100, which is divided by 400, automatically divided by 4. The numbers ending with the double 0, all those numbers are divided by 4. Only condition is that if it is a century year, then it must be divided by 400 also. This way the 1900 was not the leap year and 2000 was. Again that catching the, I think the third semester who are coming in the fourth sem, they have not felt that this exceptions. For that we will have to conclude that what do you mean by exceptions. In a straightforward now today, just to understand for third sem, because sixth sem students they have already done these exceptions in Java. The third sem students might not have done. Or if you were already learned the C++ in your plus 2, at that time you might have done your exceptions. Exceptions are runtime errors. Exceptions are runtime errors. You have executed the program, written the program syntactically correct. Syntactically it is correct, but at the time of execution it is giving some error. Mostly the exceptions are caused by invalid inputs. You are asking to enter a number, you are entering ABC, some character. For that, you are asking to open a file in the program, but the file is not found. You are asking to find the square root, but you are trying to find the square root of a negative number. You are finding to divide the first number by second number, but the second number you have given as 0. So divide by 0, a square root of negative value, divide by 0, a square root of negative value, wrong file name, wrong variable name, array out of boundary. You have declared one array of 10 elements, you are accessing the 11th element. For that utopia or false conception that I have declared you one array of 10 elements, but the indices are from 0 to 9 only, you are accessing array of 10, array of 10 is not there, so array out of boundary. For that invalid input, the program may cause the runtime error. Again further it may be discussed. This runtime error will occur at compile time or runtime. Few of the errors are, runtime errors are also occurring at compile time. Next time it is divided, but straightforward we are calling them runtime errors. So, if you are getting the value from the user, and if it is not a number, for example, I have given here there are 2-3 keywords. In Python also they try and except word for the exception handling. If the error will occur, then what way it is going to be handled. So what will say, what is the except keyword here? To handle the exception if the errors occur. Because you are going to write a program to convert the Fahrenheit temperature into Celsius. So whether the user has entered a number or user had entered 90 degrees F. No, it should be number only, then only it can convert, no? So for that I am using this try. So what code you are writing to check so that the invalid input can be handled at the time of the execution. So you are writing the try followed by clone, and following the indentation you are getting that, converting that value to the, suppose you have entered something wrong, not the number, then it will convert and it will find some error because it could not convert that particular input in the floating point value. So it will cause, please enter a number. Exception handling. I repeat, you have not entered a number, so it cannot convert in floating point. What we have given the number, it cannot convert. So it will cause the error, so exception handler will handle, and the keyword is except. So it will display please enter error. If it is entered correctly and converting to the float, it will not have any problem. Then we know the formula, how to convert the Fahrenheit temperature into Celsius. How to convert? Fahrenheit minus 32 multiplied by 5 by 9. You know that.